Folks, welcome to race number 2 of Race to Zero Hour. A new beginning, as we say, here in RoadRunnerRacingCo Esports. Today we've got a full racing grid as we head to Shanghai International Circuit. I'm Sarthak and alongside me is Gouts. Gouts, thoughts on the track, but before that, what do you think about the driver lineup for the day?
Hey Sarthak, good to be back. And driver lineup. Most of the drivers were there in the previous race as well. Good to see them back here. And we do have a few new drivers here. The names are Vaibhav and I think Dinara One Up are the new drivers for today. The track obviously is not a very popular one among the drivers. They don't enjoy China very much. But in my personal opinion, at least, I kind of like China. I like to drive on the China track. So that is something I do enjoy. But yeah, I think the drivers will face a little difficulty in the second sector.
All right.
The end of the second sector, actually. And then it's all about who's in the DRS on the back straight. So let's see how people play it.
Yeah, we'll see it pan out right in front of us. So for those of you watching, make sure you drop in the chat who you're here for, which driver do you think will come out on top. It's 20 drivers out on track, a bunch of newbies, and of course, a bunch of veterans here at RoadRunnerRacingCo Esports from the Bwoah Racing League.
Definitely. Good to see a very big participation here. A very good thing for us. It makes for a really fun race is what I mean to say.
Yeah, exactly. With the likes of some heavy hitters from the Bwoah Racing League and even some newbies who are pretty pacey, like we saw last race around with the likes of Abhi coming on top of the podium. Tanish, who won the race last time around at Spa, is not on track today. So that's the beauty of Race to Zero Hour. We're going to see new drivers, new podium finishers, new race winners even, possibly, as we keep going on race.
Definitely, and that is the hope, to see new drivers all the time and the old drivers returning, obviously. For now anyway, a lot of the drivers have gone out on track and are all on the softs, except for Andre, who seems to have taken the mediums. So he's the only one here who seems to be playing on the alternate strategy for now.
Alright, and as we trickle down to 15 minutes to short qualifying, we are just over 16 minutes right now. For those of you wondering, yes, team allocation is at random, and the only reason we allocate teams, of course, is mainly because to ensure there's no double stacking at the pit stops. Any bad experiences of double stacking in the pit stop, Scots? I know they tried rectifying it on the exit, at least at pit release, with a new feature, but double stacking, good memories, bad memories from your league racing times?
Definitely bad memories this very season of BRL, the very first race of BRL, in fact, when Kubarabi and I were in Portimao. He entered the pit. I think it was a safety car, and if you'll remember, Sarthak, in the first race of BRL, there was a bit of drama around the safety car because of changing conditions, which caused a lot of confusion. And we pit at the same time, which caused me to have to wait for an extra 5 to 6 seconds. So definitely communication is key. Of course, at the time, there wasn't much of a choice. That was a necessity. But yes, it is a good idea to allocate teams so that they can communicate with each other and, it doesn't cause problems for anyone.
Yeah, precisely what we're looking forward to achieve. And as we say, that Vaibhav on a fast lap as he goes to Sector 2. The first lap time on the board possibly from him. Deathwish, Rocket, Assassin Next, Abhi, Andre and RB Ferrello out on track on fast laps as well. RB Ferrello, I don't think he was there at race number 1. So we possibly get to see him do a P20 to P1 out on track today.
That's something RB Ferrello really likes, doesn't he? He really likes starting from the back all the time. I mean, he claims not to have any quali pace, but let's face it, we know how fast he is. And as we say that, RB Ferrello just set a purple first sector. So, and Deathwish seems to be in his way as well. It's going to be interesting how this turns out to be. Oh, and Deathwish, I think, impedes RB Ferrello's lap. Yeah, there's a lot of action out on track there on the... RB Ferrello is not going to be happy with that, that's for sure.
Yeah, but time will tell us if Vaibhav's happy with his fast lap time. Assassin X goes fastest so far, which will be quickly beaten, I'd like to imagine, but it wasn't. Vibe finishes actually 2 seconds off of Assassin X. So we haven't seen a bunch of good lap times come on the board just yet. Assassin X is rookie. Of course, he just started playing the Formula 1 game as recently as a month ago, if I'm right.
Not bad at all. I mean, it's great that he's doing this now, and it's very good exposure for him more than anything else. You can you participate in RTZH, you learn, you make mistakes. Of course, everybody makes mistakes, but the whole point of making mistakes is so you can learn from them. So this is good. It's good exposure. Hopefully, we'll see him evolve into a much faster and a much cleaner driver as well.
Precisely what we're hoping for. First quickest lap time on the board from one of the boys from the Bwoah Racing League. Streeter 1 minute 32.614. And of course RB 3/10 off of him. KDB putting in a lap time third fastest out on track. And we see a bunch of other lap times come on board as well. RB Ferrello's fifth fastest so far. Definitely will improve as time keeps going on. Just under 13 minutes left into shock qualifying. So folks watching, make sure you drop in the chat who's gonna come out on top. I'm expecting great things from Dinara 1 up out on track. I believe he's a friend of Envy's and we know how quick he is.
Oh, I mean, definitely. If they're from the same league as Dalvin and Envy, then we're going to see a lot of pace from him today. He seems to have invalidated this lap though, and is rightfully getting out of the way and letting drivers behind him pass.
And yeah, probably switch to Mr. Wex, who just started another first fast lap time as well. He's just invalidated his previous one. So let's stay on board our buddy Mr. Wex. I believe he was a teammate back in Season 3 of Bwoah Racing League. Gouts?
Oh, yes. Good memories with Mr. Wex. Good teammate. I was very happy. Can't complain at all. We had good strategies and we occasionally played out the team game on track. So he's a good teammate to have, Mr. Wex, definitely. And he's a fast driver. We already know that. He's proving himself in the BRL as well. And in RTZH, the very first race of RTZH this season, he was on the podium. What more can we ask for?
Yeah, precisely. There's talent there, and hopefully we'll get to see more of it out on track here in Race 0R. Mr. Wex has ended up invalidating his lap time yet again. RB Ferrello, however, puts in a lap time that's worthy enough to put him second fastest on the board. Sicknig as well, third fastest out on track.
Definitely, very good lap times here by RB, Sicknig and Streeter. I haven't really done China yet in this game, so I'm not very sure what a good time should be, but I think for what we're seeing right now, the 132.6 set by Streeter hasn't been beaten yet. So I have a feeling that is the time to beat for now, seeing that there's how much less than 7 minutes left in quali? Okay, 10 minutes 53. That's what it says. All right.
Yeah, just over 10 minutes left to shock qualifying. Dinara 1 up. I expected him to sell lap time. Still hasn't. Vex, Envy, Dub. Some pretty strong drivers. Andre and the likes of Avi even. Still yet to sell lap time, Gouts.
Yeah, so Andre, what I saw him do was he came out on the mediums initially, and I think he wasn't very happy with his pace. So he's gone back into the pits and is now doing his outlap on the softs. So Andre, I think, will be putting a lap time on the softs. He's about to start his lap. He is at the final corner, so can probably ride on board him if no one else is setting a fast lap.
Yeah, I've been on him for a while now as he comes across the final corner to start his fast lap. I'm looking forward to see Avi's performance out on track as well. We see UK set the 6th fastest lap time on track. Irox 24 7th fastest. They're not too far off of each other either. Soon enough, we'll see a bunch of these drivers improving even more. UT, the last minute sign up who got to race here today, he's gone 10th fastest as well.
Good times, but there is quite a large gap in the lap times. As you can see, KDB is almost a second slower than Streeter himself, about 8/10 slower. So KDB, I presume, has not put in his best first lap. You'd expect, I definitely expect a much faster lap from KDB, which I think he probably will set on his next lap.
Yeah, no surprise there. Hopefully we'll get to see it regardless. We haven't seen him do that as well as you'd hope for in the Bwoah Racing League, but again, maybe in the second half of the season. But that's Bwoah Racing League, folks. Come by on Sundays at 4:30 p.m. And as I say that,
And
a drive from the
Andre has a
BRL.
spin.
Precisely.
And Andre has a spin. That was an unfortunate spin. He had a purple second sector there, if I'm not wrong.
What kind of driver is Andre Gauts? How would you put it? You're his teammate. You've been his teammate in 2 different leagues, in fact. Do
Definitely.
you think
He's,
that he is a kind of driver where you can generalize and put him in a basket of sorts?
I mean, look, everybody is different in their own ways. And Andre, I think, is a very good driver. He's a very good teammate as well. I feel he pushes more than he should. Of course, you have to push, but I feel like he pushes a little more than he should, which, makes him, which tends to backfire on him as he makes mistakes at times. He doesn't always drive with a cool head, I feel. So, again, he's just a kid. He's a young driver, so he's a very young driver. So, he's eventually going to evolve and get a lot far. You've already seen his pace in Austria in the BRL, and he was exceptionally quick. He was fighting for the win, in fact, on his very second race in the BRL. And so we know what pace he's got. But, if he kept a calmer head on track, tried not to push way too much, then the results will definitely come to him. Great results for him.
All right, let's see if he can pull out such a result out on track today. Vaibhav has reconnected, thankfully, and as we stay on board, Siknik, who's gone wide on his out lap. Of course, soon enough he'll be on a fast lap of his own, just like Abhi is as he comes into the exit of Sector 3 on the last section of the track. He's in the 1 minute 20s already.
And Streeter just improved his lap time by another 4/10.
He's
So
putting
I
in the
was
work.
wrong previously. Oh, he is definitely setting those blistering lap times. He's gone 4/10 faster than he was
Absolutely.
before.
Brilliant, and Abhi goes second fastest, puts Rabi Ferrero down 1 place. And yeah, like I can see out on track, Siknik, Baby Shumi, and UK gearing up for fast lap of their own. High Rocks 24 and KDB on fast lap of their own as well.
This is gonna shift a lot of things around. Your Baby Shumi is on a fast lap right now, yes. UK is on his out lap. Harry Rocks KDB just finished his lap and goes 5th fastest with that time. He improves by around 6/10 from his previous lap time. 5/10 in fact.
So yeah, now we see the times on the board, the times that are worthy enough to get them good grid spots, hopefully. The best ones in front. But we still got over 6 drivers still to set a single lap time. We haven't set one so far, and we just got only 6 minutes left to shock qualifying to end.
And I think Mr. Vex is about to set a lap time and he goes fastest. Mr. Vex has set the fastest time.
Yeah.
Am I saying this right?
Yes.
Are you seeing the same time? Okay,
Yeah.
great. I thought I disconnected for a second.
1 minute
Never mind.
32.123. Even I was taken aback for just a moment. But yeah, he's the fastest driver out on track, and perhaps they've been made for the races of BRL to come. Regardless, Streeter is Vex's teammate in the Bwoah Racing League Reserve. That's an interesting coincidence, but
And Sarthak,
yeah?
I'm sorry to interrupt you,
Go
but
ahead.
there's a bit of drama at the back between Avi and Rocket. Rocket was in Avi's way, and I think it was Rocket or Deathwish. One of them was in the way, and there was a collision there. I'm not sure if the game has handed out a 5-place grid penalty as it does, but there was a bit of a collision there. I think Avi was on his out lap, and Rocket was in the way, and there was a bit of collision. So hopefully everything's fine. Hopefully there's no damage, and they'll carry on.
yeah, we've seen Avi go on to the gravel as well, but he's back out on track. He's on his out lap, so soon enough he'll be starting his fast lap as well. The interesting thing here for me is Assassin X's time of 1 minute 33.164 is currently 9th fastest. He's much higher than he would, you would expect him to be, considering his rookie friends with the likes of Rocket, Deathwish, and Fanatical down in P14, 15, and 16, respectively.
Well, clearly Assassin X has been putting in the work, putting in the time into the game, and he's doing quite well. It's really great to see a new driver competing for the top 10 positions there. Now, honestly, it's very impressive to see. especially on his very second league race, if I'm not wrong.
Yep, exactly. Oh, it's very second league race, you could say, a race series regardless. 4 minutes left to show qualifying and UK sets the fastest lap time out on track. 1 minute 31.996. Would you look at that, Gouts?
Typical UK. And Andre in the Red Bull goes 4th fastest with that lap time.
Brilliant.
It's like there's only 3 drivers left yet to set a lap time. Envy seems... Oh, Envy and Assassin... Oh my goodness, Envy DNFs. That was a horrible incident. Horrible incident.
We just missed it, and we couldn't get a glimpse of us Envy either. Maybe we can get a glimpse of Envy on board another car. Nope, perhaps not. But I did see Assassin X missing an end plate. I wonder what happened there. Gouts, can you run us through it?
Absolutely. So Envy was on his hot lap, and Assassin X was in the way. So Assassin X was supposed to give way to Envy, but he didn't, and he kind of went into Envy and pushed him off. Envy lost control and went hurtling towards the wall.
Disaster.
So that was a bit of a disaster, seeing Envy hadn't set a lap time yet. But what's interesting to see is someone with Envy's pace starting from the back and making that climb.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be Abi Ferrello, but looks like it's going to be Envy after all. Oh, wait a second. What about Derp? He's not set a lap time. He doesn't seem like he's going to come out of the pits at all.
I don't think so. Maybe Derp wants to do the last to first. Some people just enjoy doing that, don't they?
Yeah, that's completely valid in a series like Race to Zero R to try that. But of course, it's no small feat either, with the likes of the rookies at the back to chop through first, to the midfield. Can we say midfield matadors? Or maybe using too much of lingo there. But Andre dives into the pits, and we got Streeter weaving, trying to heat up his tires with the likes of Vex right behind.
Absolutely. And Streeter and Vex make a pretty good combo together as well, as they're already a team in BRL itself. They're on the same team, so good rapport there, although they're not in the same team now, but good to see them together on track, P2 and P3 respectively.
Yep, precisely. UK's time still unbeaten, but Avi on a fast lap as he goes to sector 1, improved by 4/10.
Avi, yes, he'll need to pass Deathwish, because I think on the previous lap as well, Deathwish was in Avi's way. He did impede Avi's lap. And it looks like Deathwish is still in Avi's way. Yep, I don't think Avi's going to be improving on his lap time. Oh, he's been impeded quite badly.
Okay, for the folks watching, these drivers are allowed to report these incidents as our stewards will go through them. Last time around, they didn't. Hopefully, after this race, they will. Looks like Andre is retired from the qualifying session, so that's all for him. 4th fastest lap time on the board. Let's see if he can hold on to it.
True. I think he's very satisfied with his lap time. He wouldn't have retired otherwise. I don't think he thinks he can go faster. But let's see what happens. I mean, Harry Rocks right now is on a fast lap. Let's see what time he does. Yeah. Oh, and he sets a purple second sector, does Harry Rocks. Oh, but he loses his car a little there. That will hurt his lap. That will hurt his 3rd sector.
And it's the end of quali for Fanatical as well. 16th fastest lap time on the board. Better than his buddy Deathwish, who's down in 17th fastest. Avi's lap time definitely not his best, as Abhi goes into the pits. And of course, as it stands, a bunch of drivers out on track on their fast laps. Purple sector 1 for Mr. Abi Ferrello.
Not surprised. Oh, and a bit of an incident between Avi and Mr. Vex. What happened there?
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that from the likes of these two drivers, but no damage on the front wing of Avi's.
And Mr. Vex has retired as well. He goes straight into the wall.
Unusual. To say the least, 2nd fastest lap time on the book. Can he hold on to it as Streeter comes across the finish line? Not good enough. 3rd fastest out on track. 2nd row start for him. But Mr. Vex still holds on to that front row start. UK on provisional pole. And we got Abi Ferrello on a fast lap.
RB Ferrello approaching the penultimate corner.
Oh, he's got Deathwish to worry about.
Deathwish in front. Oh
No!
my goodness, not again.
That was
Not
close.
again, Deathwish.
That was close. Hopefully he doesn't decide to race RB Ferrello. And he comes across the final corner. Walk good. How much better has he done? He got second
And he
fastest.
was P2.
Yeah, front row start for the man.
Improved by 4 tenths, only less than, oh my goodness, just a few tenths off.
Yeah.
Just a few tenths off UK. I mean, I'm sorry, what am I saying? A few hundredths is what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Just a few hundreds. Irox 24, however, last driver to set a lap time. Maybe no. Sector 2 seems to have invalidated. He would have invalidated his lap time already. 5-place grid penalty for collision with UK for Dinara 1 up. And Irox 24 ends the qualifying session with a fantastic spin.
UK is not going to be happy with that, especially until the end. Until now, he thought he was starting on pole. But it looks like he won't be starting on pole anymore.
I think Dinara 1 up received the penalty, if I'm not wrong.
Did he?
Yeah,
okay.
It's Dinara 1 up.
I thought it was UK who received the penalty.
No,
collision with Dinara 1.
Yeah, no, it's Dinara 1 up who picks up that penalty. Let's quickly make sure it is the right one. Yeah, and the game didn't fumble yet again. Hopefully it didn't.
Typical game. Anyway, looks like you were right. It is Dinara 1 up who received the grid penalty. It is Dinara 1 up who received the grid penalty, and he will be starting 5 positions behind the lap time he set, which means UK will start on pole.
Absolutely brilliant. And it says we might just have issues with regard to, we've got Vex with the 5-place grid penalty, which wasn't valid as well. So we might just have a lobby restart ahead of the race.
Let's hope we don't have a lobby restart. Let's hope the collision and the penalty was justified. I think the only way we can find out is if the drivers report it immediately. If Dinara 1 up can share with us what exactly happened. At the moment, at least, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah. No word from Vex either. Yeah, seems like it's valid enough to move on with the race. 5-place grid penalty sticks with Vex and Dinara 1 up.
I'm sorry, did you say Vex?
Yep.
Vex? Okay, I think that was for the incident with Avi. Like I said, there was a bit of contact between Avi and Vex, so I think that's where Vex is. Interestingly, Sarthak, can you look at the track right now?
Yes, I just lifted my head for a moment while in conversation with Vex to figure out whether his 5-place grid penalty was valid. And yes, we got rain. We got our first wet race incoming for race 0. About time, if you ask me, but it's just race number 2. I'm pretty sure drivers will have a bone to pick with me.
Yeah, definitely, Sarthak. I mean, think about it. The first race of RTZH was a dry race and was super exciting from lap 1 to the final lap until the final corner. Imagine how exciting this is going to be.
Yeah, precisely. And it seems like UK is out of the session, so we'll wait for him to rejoin. Right now we see his car on grid, and of course other cars ghosting through him as we speak. He's got the formation lap. He's got the entirety of the formation lap to come back out on track. Disqualified from the session means they're disqualified from the formation lap only. Go ahead, Gods. Sorry.
Definitely. Avi, as you were saying, that Avi spun out in the very beginning of the formation lap. Definitely not a good way to start your race. And these are a lot of disqualifications here. A lot of cars seem to be stuck on track as well. I'm on Weber right now. And there's an Alfa Romeo as well that's spun around. Yeah. Half the grid is not taking part in the formation lap. They've been disqualified from the formation lap. This is weird.
I don't think they're ready for a wet race, but in time we'll find out if they're really ready for a race itself. 14 laps of racing ahead of us. For the folks watching, make sure you drop in the chat which driver do you think will survive going into turn 1. I just hope it's not as chaotic as we'd like to imagine. Probably shouldn't be imagined.
Seems to have disconnected as well. He doesn't seem to be in his car. That might probably explain why he didn't set a lap time.
Alright, another disconnection on Derp's side. Unfortunate for him. And of course, the 5-place grip penalty, which could have been removed, but Vex chose to stay in lobby. Even Dinara one up after that 5-place grid penalty, will be starting P12. And Derp seems to have returned, so he will be starting from the back of the grid after all, goats.
Yes, has he? Yes. Okay. Did it say he's joining the session?
Yes.
Okay, my bad. I missed that. Good. It'll be interesting to see Derp and Envy, two of the fastest controller drivers in the BRL, starting right from the back in a race that's raining. Oh my god, I can already feel how exciting this race is going to be, Sarthak, honestly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully not too much chaos going into turn 1 as the drivers line up. RB Ferrello, the first driver of the pack to finish that formation lap. We've got a bunch of drivers still yet to come across the final corner. We see the Ferrari engined boys coming through as well, likes of Assassin X, Fanatical and Deathwish. The rookies are in Ferrari powered cars. Would you look at that, Gots? Oh, we got a spin. I think that's Avi or Deathwish. Deathwish. He spun around.
I think that's Deathwish.
Yeah,
yes.
he's trying his best to get on track. No, that's not where the track is, my friend. He goes on to the gravel regardless.
And he's back on the grid.
Yeah, Avi's lined up, Envy's lined up, and Dub's on track. And I believe UK is probably doesn't have control over his car as 5 lights come on, and he's going to be his AI out on track as Williams evades him. A brilliant race start for the likes of RB Ferrero, who leads this race. There's contact between two cars in the midfield, contact between two cars, as well as a spinning Merc goes around. Baby Shumi falls down the order, and I believe Andre and Abi are going wheel to wheel, like RB Ferrero and Streeter are going wheel to wheel, trying to pick off that race lead there, Streeter, but he can't do enough. 10-second time penalty for Vex as he exceeds track limits in the very first lap. Let's see on board Abi and Andre for that battle.
Oh, this has been a bit of a chaotic start, especially for UK, who's gone straight from pole to P19.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's his AI.
It's a spin in front, and he almost took out Abi with the likes of Hyrox 20. No, Hyrox 24. Andre falling down the order now. It is his AI, Gouts.
Oh my goodness, this is not good. Andre was in the top 3, and his teammate, Harry Rocks, has replaced him in the top 3.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be glad about that. Just for today, however, Derp finds himself up into P5, Gouts.
Derp has had an amazing climb so far, starting P20 on the grid to P5 straight away. I think a lot of fortunes are contrasting here, as we see UK gone straight from P1 to last, and Derp gone from last to the top 5.
Yeah, quite.
And a lot of people, a lot of drops in positions. Baby Shumi's dropped, Sicknig has dropped, Mr. Vex with that massive penalty that he received, which I believe was in the first corner where somebody must have pushed him off. So he had to cut the corner, and I think he's received a 10-second penalty.
Yeah, and around the outside goes Streeter. He's trying to fight for that race lead. They're side by side now, RB Ferrello and Streeter, as they exit the final corner. It's RB Ferrello holding on to that race lead for that much longer.
Definitely. It's not a rare sight seeing RB Ferrello right in front. It's not the first time we're seeing him right in front as well. So let's see. For all we know, he could be the... Of course, there's 12 laps to go, so I'm not going to say anything yet. But and there is a VSC, Sarthak.
Oh, yeah.
VSC, and there are cars pitting as well.
Yeah, I wonder why it came out though. Could have been an incident we might have just missed, but someone to commend out on track is definitely Assassin X, holding on to that P8 position.
Absolutely. For a rookie driver like him, that is a great place to be. And Sicknig and Assassin X, for some reason, seem to be racing during the VSC. So I think there may have been a bit of confusion there.
Yeah. And yeah, definitely. I think another driver who lost out upon race start is definitely Weiber. Finds himself running P15 now. And with the likes of Envy as well for company, Andre in the mix, UT, UK, and it's just Deathwish who's fallen all the way back to P20.
So far, I feel like and UK gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. So I assume UK is definitely back. Envy retires, our first retirement of the session. I think UK's camera will show us exactly. Yep, he's. I have a feeling he's voluntarily retired. Envy has given up on the race because I don't see debris around him, to be honest.
I'm not sure, but I think the front left is damaged. The front left tire, possibly, but it's Assassin X and Dinner Up going wheel to wheel as Dinara goes up one position, but Assassin X not giving up. He's deploying every as much as battle power he can. Going into the next corner, I won't be surprised if he attempts to dive down the inside. Will he be brave enough? Yes, he will. And Dinara one up goes completely wide. Sicknig, opportunistic move. 2 positions in one corner, up in a P7.
The only real winner there was Sicknig. I was on board him as the fight was really exciting to watch from his point of view. And Sicknig really made good of that move there. He just waited for the two of them to make a mistake, and perfect stuff by Sicknig there.
Yeah, and as the drivers head into the pits for a change of tires, let's get tires on our screens as Vex attempts to take an inside line on Assassin X. Holds back, of course. Will wait it out before he takes the battle to Assassin X once again. Dinara one up, headed into the pits for a fresh set of tires. No, just a fresh new wing.
So, since everyone has started on the Inter Sarthak, nobody will want to pit for a fresh set of tires. The only reason they'll pit in this race is to change their front wing, if anything at all. So, as the race is...
Yeah, and
Baby Shumi and Fanatical.
Precisely, you caught it right, and Baby Shumi goes wide, and now it's Avi being the opportunistic driver out on track. Baby Shumi going back at it with Fanatical, giving him enough space, of course. Up into P11, he goes Fanatical, trying to hold on as he races wheel to wheel with the two of the best drivers in Bwoah Racing League.
I think Baby Shumi, can definitely relate to Fanatical, because if you'll remember, Sarthak, last season was Baby Shumi's debut, not only in the BRL, but also his first ever league. So, and it's the same for Fanatical right now. So, and Fanatical and Avi.
Yeah.
Contact there as Avi tries to dive down the inside and Fanatical closes the door on him.
Yeah, the gap did exist. Now he was trying to get that position off of Fanatical sooner than later. He's almost drifting out on track, Avi there. Open up an opportunity for likes of Viber to close in on him. Meanwhile, up ahead, Hyrox24 up in a P2, Gouts.
Good stuff here by HarryRox24. Really doing well, being consistent. Let's hope he really does well this race. Last race did not go his way, obviously, as he didn't finish. But this race, let's definitely hope he finishes with a good result. Would be a really good boost of confidence for him.
Yeah, quite the battle up in front. Top 4 all within half a second of each other almost. As Streeter takes the fight to HarryRox24 with Derp on his tail.
To be honest, Sarthak, in my opinion, I just want to say,
go ahead.
Contact between Streeter and Derp. But I just wanted to say, looking at what's happening in the front, Derp has been the real winner so far. First 4 laps of the race, Derp has been the real winner. And seeing that luck seems to be going his way, I would not be surprised if he actually won this race. He's a skilled driver, as we already know that. And he seems to be driving well. He doesn't seem to be so aggressive right now. He's just waiting for the drivers in front to make a mistake, putting the right amount of pressure. Let's see how this pans out. That's something to look out for, Sarthak.
Yeah, definitely. 4 laps up, 10 laps to go. And the fight we've been missing out on is Assassin X versus Mr. Wex. Mr. Wex has been trying to get past Assassin X for a while now, and still remains in P9. So Assassin X doing a pretty good job holding up Wex, a podium finisher in race to 0R.
Definitely, and I think, Mr. X loses a scar a bit there, which deprives him of the opportunity to try and make a move on Assassin Next here. Assassin Next and Mr. X both deploying their batteries as... and that's another VSC, Sarthak.
Yeah, VSC, I think there was an incident in the back of the pack between Fanatical and Vaibhav yet again. I'm not sure. Yeah, Vaibhav seems to have disconnected. And up in front, it almost seemed like a 4-way battle was brewing yet again between the front runners. But VSC in lap number 5, folks. Drivers will have to come down to 60% of their speed. Am I right? You can run us through there, Guts.
40%, I think. 40%. Right. So basically in the game, you have a delta on the top right of your screen. As long as your delta is green, your delta is positive, you're fine.
There you go, folks. Straight from one of the drivers from the Bwoah Racing League itself. HarryRox24 holding on up in front is very surprising for me, Grouts.
Let's face it, I mean, sometimes HarryRox has had great results in the past. He has been a race winner in the BRL. Podium sitter as well more than once, if I'm not wrong. And it's not surprising to see him. The thing about HarryRox is he's a quick driver, but he isn't able to get those good results in the end. He has good starts, but never good finishes. So
All right.
That's one thing that lacks there. But
Uh-huh.
UK, on the other hand, I think seems to have returned because his car doesn't look like it's ghosted anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he gets a
It's an
drive-through
other
penalty.
drive-through penalty. How
Unfortunate for him.
unlucky can he get? His second drive-through penalty, and he's serving it right now. Oh my goodness, UK.
Yeah, but we're back racing out on track with Lex, the front runners, possibly battling it out as he goes wide. RB Ferrello, he's got Streeter on his gearbox now, lines up a move, incoming. They're trying to line up alongside of each other. Streeter taking that fight to the likes of RB Ferrello, side by side through sector 3. They go and into the corner. It's Streeter's nose in front, and he's got the race lead.
And Streeter had the inside line there, something a certain other driver will be very proud of.
Yeah,
DRL contact.
exactly.
And Streeter goes into the pits, which means does Streeter have damage, Sarthak?
Oh, contact, and it's retirement for Derp in the pits between.
Derp.
Oh no, no, not like that.
Sarthak, I don't know if you've noticed, but the track has dried up and all the drivers will be pitting for dry tires.
Oh, the timing on that. Derp's retirement in the entry of the pit lane after contact with IROX 24 on lap number 6. Full safety car out on track as well.
Oh, this is sad. I mean, I kind of feel bad now. I feel like I jinxed Derp.
Ah,
I should not have said anything about his result in the end, but I mean, it is what it is. It is racing. This kind of stuff tends to happen as now you see the track has dried up and most of the drivers have gone on the mediums except for Streeter, who's on the softs. I think Mr. Wex and RB Ferrello have lost quite a lot of time staying out in front.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they have. And yeah, I still can't get over that incident between Derp and IROX 24. I'm pretty sure he'll report it. I hope he does. But yeah, we see a bunch of drivers coming out on mediums. Denara one up, gambling it with the softs. Streeter as well. Which other driver is going to come out on softs? What do you reckon? Guts, softs or mediums? Which is the better pick and which one would you pick?
So, from my experience in the previous season, at least in the previous game, the tire wear in China was relatively high. So, to be honest, with about 8 laps to go, I think the mediums would be the right choice because the softs will start to drop after about 6 odd laps. So, I mean, if you're good with tire conservation, then yes, the softs are the way to go, definitely. If not, then the mediums should last till, I mean, will definitely last till the end and will have a lot of pace in it.
Alright. Great Streeter on the sauce, and I can't believe RB still staying out on the intermediates just like the others. Fanatical comes out on a fresh set of intermediates, and I'm pretty sure that's driver error right there.
Definitely driver error. So he has not chosen the right tires on his MFD, and I think since he's a rookie, I mean, there's still a lot to learn.
Yeah.
So he'll eventually realize his mistake and learn from it.
Yeah, definitely. Hyrox 24, after that incident with the likes of Derp, of course, Fanatical has returned, so might have just been his AI playing tricks on him. We've seen that before. And the front two runners who were on intermediates head into the pits.
Definitely. And RB Ferrello, luckily for him, comes out P1 after that pit stop. So he hasn't lost a lot of time, but Wex will be losing a lot of positions.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be possibly coming out somewhere between, what do you reckon, in the midfield. Yes, up ahead of Sicknig, as Sicknig comes along the main straight as well, possibly battling it out at safety car restart. Assassin X still in P7. That's brilliant to see from the likes of a rookie. He's got Abhi, a podium finisher from the last race, hot on his tail, on a fresh set of softs. Dinara one up in the thickness of action between the likes of Rocket and Andre.
Definitely. I mean, this is great to see. It's great to see Assassin X doing really well on his very second league race. Let's hope he finishes with a good result. I think I'll stop jinxing people now. I've already done that to Derp, and well, it's sad what happened. But yeah, let's hope for a good result for the rookies. And now, Sarthak, I have a more definitive answer for you when it comes to tires. I think softs are actually the way to go because there will be another lap of safety car, and there will effectively be only 5 to 6 laps of proper racing. So the softs are definitely the way to go, and everybody on the softs will have a massive tire advantage in the beginning.
Right. Okay, and as you say, the Fanatical and Deathwish head into the pits. I'm pretty sure they'll be coming out on softs as well. 5-second penalty. A bunch of drivers racking up 5-second time penalties as drivers out on track weave to heat up tires as well. Robbie Ferrello leads this race, and Streeter finds himself in P2, Hyrox 24 in P3 for now on lap number 17, the halfway point of this race. Folks watching, make sure you drop in the chat who's going to come out on top at the end of lap 14. We've still got safety car out on track.
Yeah, I think there will be another lap of safety car as there are a lot of other drivers who haven't caught up to the safety car pack yet. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out because RB Ferrello and Streeter have a massive tire advantage. So do Abhi and Dinara 1-up. The drivers on the mediums, though, will be fighting amongst each other and not with the ones on the softs because they're not going to really have much of an advantage as the softs heat up a lot faster as well. And Sarthak, the rain has just stopped, so the track will slightly be colder than normal.
All right. Okay.
And tire temps will be as well. So it'll be easier for the soft runners to heat up their tires.
That means 4 drivers out on track in the most opportunistic of positions. 2 of them lead in the front of the entire pack. 2 drivers retired from the session already with the likes of 2 real quick drivers in the likes of Derp and Envy. I think we've got 2 drivers, Rocket and Vaibhav, who've disconnected. So it's their AI out on track. We won't see a race result for them either. Abhi Ferrello leads this race on lap number 8 and the safety car should be in.
When RB Ferrello approaches the final sector, we will know for sure. I think there are still, almost everybody's reached. There's only 2, Deathwish, Fanatical, UK, and a Mercedes. Baby Shumi are still yet to join the pack, but I think, has there been a notification from the race director? Yep, safety car in this lap, boys. Let's go racing.
Incoming safety car restart for lap number 9. Abhi Ferrello's safety car restarts are a bit different every time. We've seen that in Bwoah Racing League. He backs them up as much as you can. It almost seemed like it turned into a real F1 2020 Mugello scenario last time around. I believe that was in Baku at a safety car restart. But yeah, let's see what he does this time around. He's trying to get as much as heat into his tires. Hyrox 24 still running in P3 after that incident with Derp, and we got KDB up in P4, Gouts.
So I think the fight we should be looking forward to is RB versus Streeter and KDB versus Harry Rocks.
Yeah, precisely. Vex and Sicknig might just get in on that as well, and Assassin X finds himself behind podium finishers after podium finishers. I think, yeah, apart from Mr. Vex, he's got 5 race winners to tango with. Come the safety car restarts, RB Ferrello comes across the penultimate corner, and soon enough the final corner for the safety car restart. Safety car's in, and across the final corner, he's backing them up as much as he can, and we're go for racing as Streeter gets a nice restart. Hyrox 24 still there. Assassin X falls down the order. I wonder what went wrong there.
Assassin next, I think, may have been a little confused with the safety car restart. I don't think he has been a part of a safety car before, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, but up in front, it's Battles KDB taking it to the likes of Hyrox 24. He's trying to find a gap to make the move. Fanatical picks up fastest lap under safety car, and positions up in front unchanged in the midfield. Battles all around.
And interestingly, there's a great battle here going on between Sicknig and KDB. Sicknig went round the outside, almost made the move stick, but KDB, with his experience and pace, obviously was able to keep him behind. Yeah,
it's Dinara 1-up taking the fight to Abhi. Had to hold back in that part of the track behind Andre, Rocket and UT getting quite going wheel to wheel ever so often. And Andre as well in the mix, so it's quite the DRS train formed. We don't have DRS for the next 1 lap or so. It's Rocket's AI, of course, as UT goes past it through the ghost. And Andre taking that fight to Dinara 1-up down the inside. He goes wheel to wheel as they stay. Both keep it on track. Stays wheel to wheel through Sector 2 into Sector 3. And it's still Dinara 1-up up in front.
Oh, definitely. Slipstream could help Andre a little here as he closes in and tries to take the inside line on Dinara 1-up. Let's see how they play. Oh, and Andre breaks late and gets that position from Dinara 1-up. What a move by Andre. Very good move. The last of the late breakers, I see.
Yeah, and right behind it's UK getting one position off of UT as UT went completely wide. Up in front, Streeter's trying to take that fight to RB Ferrello, but the gap's still 3/10.
Definitely. But one thing I'm really happy to see is UK has finally climbed up the ladder. He was stuck in last place for half the race, and now finally he's able to get some action on track. Oh, and oh my goodness, UK. And I think that was Rocket, if I'm not wrong. No, not Rocket. There was a bit of collision between someone and UK spun around. Unfortunate for UK yet again.
Yeah, it mostly is the likes of UT was battling it out with UK, I presume, but it's Janara one up yet again taking the fight. Okay, not taking the fight. In fact, he'll be past him soon enough. It's Vaibhav's AI out on track. Up in front, it's Streeter taking it to RB Ferrello yet again on lap number 10.
Streeter is very close behind, and the next lap they will have DRS. Streeter does seem to have better exits on this at this part of the track than RB Ferrello. And RB Ferrello using a lot of his battery as well, and so is Streeter. But yeah, I think the next lap we're going to see Streeter pass RB Ferrello, assuming he's got DRS on him.
Regardless what happens out on track, unless RB Ferrello racks up a few penalties, it's still his race in view of winning, and Streeter has a 5-second penalty for himself. Idox 24 in P3, possibly net P2 at this point, KDB as well.
And Mr. Vex setting the fastest lap there. Pretty good considering he's on the medium tires. He definitely, let me take a look at his battery real quick. Yep, he does have about 40% left. Sicknig has hardly any battery left, which is not ideal considering he's fighting for position with two other drivers.
And the gaps at the back of the pack have extended beyond 10 seconds in fact, I was right. So my head's all over the place with the battles being all over the place out on track. Dinara one up in P9. Still not ahead of Vaibhav's AI. This is rather unusual for the likes of Dinara one up. He's been
he is up now.
Quite the battles, yeah, and he's up finally. Mr. Wex taking the fight to Sicknig, and on lap number 11, Streeter still 2/10 down of RB Ferrello.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Sarthak, in the next few seconds, Streeter will have DRS, and he seems to have the better exit. He's already wheel to wheel with RB Ferrello, and he'll still get the DRS.
And yeah, they're going to stay wheel to wheel. This is for race lead. Definitely not for the race win pass, but RB Ferrello stays ahead. 3-second time penalty for Sickning, who's close behind in P5. And RB Ferrello trying to get it, hold on to the race lead. He doesn't. Streeter around the outside, goes up into the race lead. Idox 24 looking at this pan out right in front of him, attempting possibly an opportunistic move soon enough.
This is turning out to be a very interesting race. Harry Rocks has made up a lot of time behind Streeter and RB Ferrello as the two of them have been fighting. And RB Ferrello passes Streeter once again on the DRS straight.
And now Hyrox 24 comes for that position from Streeter. He looks for a gap down the inside. It was there, but he knew going into the next corner, Streeter would close it, evidently so. And KDB is coming close to these three up in front as UT falls down the order. Sector 1 lights up yellow. Oh, I wonder what's gone wrong there.
UT has spun around. He has lost a lot of positions. UK, on the other hand, closing up quite quickly to Rocket's AI. And I think he will be passing him on this lap.
Yeah, UT comes back on track and quickly starts battling it out with Abhi, who's coming back for his position, which he thinks is rightfully so. Dinara one up, falling down.
Sorry, Dinari one up. Yeah, he crashes. He goes straight into the wall.
And yeah, these two are still wheel to wheel as Abhi comes back for his position up into P11. He goes on lap number 12. Sector 2 and 3 light up yellow. I see Dinara one up still off track. Fanatical, the closest driver to him, 20 seconds off of him, of course. And Abhi holds on to that P11 position. I think Rocket's attempting to make that pass on Vaibhav, but both of them are AI.
Their AIs are fighting each other. So
yeah.
There's that. And Dinara, unfortunately, picks up a 10-second time penalty by completely cutting a corner.
Disaster and
So
up in
that's not
front.
going to help him.
Yeah, up in front, however, RB Ferrero got a nasty exit, but Streeter still on his gearbox. Hyrox 24 as well, just 2 tenths off of Streeter. And KDB closing in, he's 7 tenths off. And each one of those drivers trying to take slipstream. DRS as well. Streeter around the outside, goes completely wide, opens up a gap for Hyrox 24. Will he take it? No, he holds back. He's gonna play time, he's gonna bide his time. 5 seconds penalty, holds on to Streeter, and KDB's in the mix now, Gouts. KDB's smells that possible podium.
Oh, KDB at this rate with Streeter's 5-second penalty, KDB, Harry Rocks, and RB are definitely guaranteed for a podium, assuming these positions stand and these times stand. But it's going to be really interesting how this turns out to be, because you do not want to be behind the other. You do not want to be in front. I'm sorry. You do not want to be in front on the final lap of the race, because the DRS in the third sector, the DRS straight, is going to be very crucial.
Yeah, these top four, it's all to play for. Up ahead and in the back of the pack, I see battles between Dinara 1 up and Assassin, and down the inside goes KDB. He holds back that much longer, though. He knew Alex 24 with the switch back. KDB up in P3. What a move indeed.
Absolute legendary move.
No, and Dinara 1 up is gone, retired from this session as well. Is that in the pits, Guts?
Yeah, that was in the pits, Sarthak. That was
Alright.
in fact in the pits.
Thankfully, that won't affect the race in any manner. And Streeter around the outside on RB Ferrello into the corner. He goes. RB Ferrello holds on to the race lead for that much longer. KDB, do you see an opportunity here, my friend?
Oh my goodness. I think best case scenario now for KDB is to stay behind and... Oh no, KDB. I think you've got to pass Streeter now. Definitely pass Streeter.
He definitely has to indeed. Irox 24 set for the podium by the looks of it. KDB on the gearbox of Streeter, who's competing with RB Ferrero for the race lead. Right behind, it's Sicknick and Mr. Wex, I believe, having quite the battle of their own, and it's contact between the two.
Oh my goodness. Mr. Wex and Sicknick contact yet again. Sicknick DNFs. Oh, that was quite a bad collision with the wall, I think. And that has caused Sicknick to retire from the race. Yep, Sicknick is out of the race. Sad on the final lap.
Yeah,
I do not want to see that.
Yeah, that incident in that part of the track reminds me of the incident you had back in season 3 when we had realistic performance in the Bwoah Racing League, but it's KDB taking the fight to Streeter.
Definitely, Sarthak. It reminds me of the same thing in the very first lap of China. Thank God I didn't DNF there. I did get a few points, I think, but
Of course.
all the same, unfortunate.
Yeah, and all to play for going into Sector 3, Gods.
Absolutely. Three positions. We don't know who's going to finish where on track. Of course, with penalties, it's a little obvious, but Streeter has DRS on RB Ferrello. Wait, yes, he does. And let's see what happens. Very close. Goes around the outside. RB Ferrello taking the inside line. Can we expect a switch back here from Streeter? And we see it. What a move by Streeter. Absolutely brilliant. Streeter is in the lead in the final corner and will win the race on track.
Yeah, but that wasn't enough. RB Ferrero wins the race. KDB on the final corner. The Cubs threw him completely off track.
Yep, he does that. Unfortunate. So Harry Rocks will take P2. What a finish by him. Kept his calm from beginning to end. KDB, unfortunate in the end there. He lost out on a podium. UK finishes P5 despite the start he had. Absolutely brilliant recovery by UK and Avi as well. And Streeter gets another 10-second... Okay, that is definitely a glitch. That is definitely a game glitch. That is something we can have removed.
Okay, and I'm at a loss of words. That final corner, those curbs at the final corner, Gouts, it gave him the 3-second time penalty on at the end of lap number 13, and it threw him completely off track on lap number 14. I mean, KDB must be infuriated right now.
Very unfortunate. And the last two races that KDB has done, Sarthak, has been a bit of a disaster for him on the final lap. The previous race as well, he spun out on the final lap. I think that was a BRL race though.
Yeah, unfortunate for the likes of KDB. And driver of the day goes to Avi. Good job to Avi. I think he started from the back of the pack all the way up into the top 6, I presume.
Spectacular climb by Avi there. Definitely really good. Good to see UK recovering from that bad start. RB Ferrello, race winner, not surprised. Great drive by him, great qualifying as well. Harry Rocks kept his calm, stayed up there, and yes, Streeter, I think, was P2, so credit where credit is due.
Yeah, P3, I believe Streeter receives P3 there, and Hydrox24, like you mentioned, on the podium. Great to see him on the podium, and hopefully great things to see in race to 0R as the races come from him. Fastest lap for UT, 1 minute 34.933.
No, that's Andre, actually. Fastest lap
apologies.
for Andre. Yeah. 1 minute 34.933, if I have to quote Sarthak once again.
Yeah. Of course, it's Abi Ferro who came out on top of all these drivers out on track. A wet race. We experienced quite the race, and qualifying as well was fair enough. Not too bad of a race out in Shanghai International Circuit, was it, Gouts?
Was as expected, Sarthak. It was an extremely exciting race. We saw a lot happening. We saw a lot of battles, beginning to end. Entertainment max.
Yeah, that's what we come here for in race to 0R, and hopefully a bunch of drivers learned a lot. 20 drivers who were out on track, hopefully they learned quite a bit. We'll see you again on Thursday for the next race. We'll find out soon enough which track we'll be heading to. But until then, see you folks who stay till the very end. And Gouts, I'll see you then.
Cheers, Sakura.